Hi dear students, this is Praveen Banakar, Assistant Teacher, Govt Adarsha Vidyalaya Muddebihal. Today I am going to discuss about a lesson of 10th standard history part, Advent of Europeans to India. This is the lesson in history part focused on how the trade relation with India and the arrival of Europeans to India, as well as the fall of Constantinople, the new sea route to India, and some European companies which are came to India, and it is detail about those particular companies came to India for trade, and the competition between English as well as French, and three Carnatic wars we going to discuss, and Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. Okay, let's start from first. You know that everyone, British had trade relation with India as well as some other European countries too. This is very ancient trade relation that European countries had with Asian countries. So because of there was a great demand for spices like pepper and cardamom and clove, so that there was a great demand for trade as well. And the particular place is very important in this trade relationship, that is Constantinople. Constantinople was the center of European trade, and it was a great gate of European trade. So remember, Constantinople, it was a center of European trade and gate of European trade. And the two important merchants had monopoly over the trade, that is Arab merchants and another one Italian merchants had monopoly over the trade. Arab merchants had monopoly over the Asian trade, and Italian trade has monopoly over the European trade. So that that was what they had trade control. And now we focus on the fall of Constantinople. So what is Constantinople and what is the fall of Constantinople? We're going to focus here. Because of the fall of Constantinople, what are its main effects on the trade relation Europe and Asian countries had? So one thing, Asia and Europe trade was taking place through Constantinople. That is the very, very major thing. So that was the very important middle place between Asia and Europe, through which the economic activities between those two continents was taking place. But this important place was captured by Ottoman Turks in 1453. That was the major thing here. So in 1453, that was captured by Ottoman Turks. So that here Turks started to levy more taxes on goods which go through Constantinople, so that the European traders felt trade is not profitable and stopped the business. So because of capture of Constantinople by Ottoman Turks, the traders of Europe stopped the business because of imposing more and more taxes on goods that pass through, so that stopped. So one of the important thing here happened, that is Spain and Portugal encouraged sailing to search route to India. Were it too countries took initiatives to search alternative routes to search alternative routes to search to reach Asian places, that is Spain and Portugal. Because of the inventions of some particular instruments, compass, astrolabe, gunpowder, as well as map. Because of these particular inventions, again the sailing was again boosted, so that we can call this is scientific inventions boosted a lot sailing over the oceans, and these particular instruments helped a lot in search of different places of Asian countries. So here we're going to focus on a new sea route to India. Vasco de Gama came to India in 1498, you know that well. Vasco de Gama came to India in 1498. He reached the western coast. Particular place is Calicut, present Kerala state. Very specific place has been mentioned in the text, that is Kappadu. Kappadu is the place where he reached first in 1498. Vasco de Gama, basically he is a Portuguese navigator. And European companies which are came to India, that is Portuguese, Dutch, French, as well as English. Portuguese from Portugal, Dutch from Holland, French from France, English from England. Dutch, United East India Company, French East India Company, English East India Company. Portuguese in detail. So particularly, Portuguese are the first to reach India and last to leave India. Keep in mind, first to reach and last to leave. And one of the very important viceroy of Portuguese, that is Alfonso de Albuquerque. Francisco de Almeida. He was a viceroy of Portuguese. He brought in very important policy, that is blue water policy. Blue water policy was brought by Francisco de Almeida. And another one important Portuguese viceroy, that is Alfonso de Albuquerque. He is called the real founder of the Portuguese. His very important achievement is what he captured Goa from Sultans of Bijapur in 1510. Keep in mind, when did Alfonso de Albuquerque, the real founder of Portuguese, captured the Goa from Sultans of Bijapur in 1510? Because of the capture of Goa, he made Goa as the administrative center in India. Administrative center, that is Goa. And the Dutch, next important particular company, came to India. Dutch are from Holland. We also call it Netherlands. They had their company, United East India Company, which was established in 1602. And their important warehouses, you have to keep in mind: Surat, Broch, Cambay, Kochi, Nagapattinam and Machilipattinam. And one more important trading company that came to India, that is English. So here is more detail about English. Queen Elizabeth issued royal charter to East India Company to trade for 15 years. You have to keep in mind the royal charter. The royal charter is said that East India Company came to India had compulsion to trade with India only about 15 years. That royal charter that was issued December 31st, 1600. So keep in mind 1600 December 31st. And very important thing happened when English came to India. Mughal emperors gave permission to establish factories in India. So Mughal Emperor Jahangir issued a royal permission to establish factory at Surat. That was the very major thing that benefited a lot for English. And another one thing that Sir Thomas Roe arrived to Jahangir's court in 1617, who was sent by James I England. Sir Thomas Roe arrived in 1617, and he also got permission to establish factories at Agra and Ahmedabad and Broch. So these are very initial places what English got permission to start up new business, as well as they started business through establishing the forts there. And very important thing is what English took Madras from Chandragiri kings and established St. George Fort. So remember Madras St. George Fort, how it was built, the fort there, by capturing the place around Madras, that is from the Chandragiri kings. So remember Madras, there is a St. George Fort. And one more thing, how the Bombay came to East India Company. Because of Charles II, the Prince of England gave Bombay to East India Company in 1668 for an annual rent of 10 pounds. So because of Charles II, the Prince of England, he gave Bombay to East India Company, so it came under the control of Britishers. Another one thing, how the Fort William was built. English purchased villages around Calcutta, particularly Govindapura and Sultanati and Kalikata. These are the villages around present West Bengal. By capturing all those villages, the Fort William was established. So later in 17th century, Bombay, Madras, Calcutta became very important administrative centers. So remember, Bombay and Madras, Calcutta, these are the very initial places which are captured by East India Company. And one more thing we're going to discuss about, that is French. French first factory started at Surat in 1668, and some other places like Machilipatnam and Chandranagore, Mahi and Karaikal and Kasim Bazar, Palsor. These are very important places, and their administrative center was Pondicherry, and Dupleix was a very important Governor General. He belongs to French. And now very important thing we focus on, that is the competition between English and French. So in this particular concept we are going to discuss about three important wars: first Carnatic War, and second Carnatic War, and third Carnatic War. First let's start first Carnatic War. Basically we have to understand that what is the meaning of Carnatic. Carnatic is the region very close to the Tamil Nadu coast. In earlier days, in 18th century, it was called as Carnatic. Carnatic was basically a region on the coast of Tamil Nadu. So British and French usually competed a lot to capture Carnatic, so that we usually call these wars as Carnatic Wars. So first Carnatic War, that is in 1746 to 48. So Madras was captured by La Bourdonnais, a military leader of Mauritius, on the request of Dupleix. Because of the Dupleix order, La Bourdonnais, who was La Bourdonnais? He was a military leader of Mauritius. He attacked on Madras. When La Bourdonnais, the leader of Mauritius, attacked on Madras, the helpless British request the help of Anwaruddin, the Carnatic Nawab. So when La Bourdonnais attacked on Madras, the Carnatic Nawab was Anwaruddin. So keep in mind, Anwaruddin was the Nawab of Carnatic at the time of La Bourdonnais attack. But Anwaruddin, the Carnatic Nawab, failed to defeat the French as the request of British. So Nawab totally defeated against La Bourdonnais. So again what happened there? La Bourdonnais took money from the British and returned Madras back to British. So La Bourdonnais, what he was captured Madras, again it was returned back to the East India Company by taking some amount of money. So this war ended with one of the very important treaty, that is the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle. So Aix-la-Chapelle is the treaty that was signed between French and England in Europe. So here as well, that particular the first Carnatic War ended with the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle we usually refer. And another one thing, second Carnatic War, that was started in 1749 and 54, second Carnatic War. So here what happened, usually all the Carnatic wars between French and English. So here also French made Salabat Jung. So who was Salabat Jung? He was the son of Asaf Jah. So Asaf Jah was the Nizam of Hyderabad. His son was Salabat Jung. So French made Salabat Jung, the son of Asaf Jah, as the Nizam of Hyderabad. So when Salabat Jung was Nizam of Hyderabad, since he was a minor, Bussy was appointed as protector. So Bussy was a protector to Salabat Jung. Salabat Jung was the son of Asaf Jah, Nizam of Hyderabad. So one more thing, Chanda Sahib was Nawab of Carnatic with the support of French. So Chanda Sahib was one more person here. Chanda Sahib was Nawab of Carnatic with the support of French. And another one thing, Chanda Sahib defeated by Robert Clive and undertaken Arcot, the capital of Carnatic. Chanda Sahib was defeated against Robert Clive. Robert Clive belongs to East India Company, and totally Robert Clive captured Arcot. Arcot is the capital of Carnatic. And one more thing important happened there. English made Muhammad Ali as the Nawab of Carnatic. The war was ended with Pondicherry Treaty. So next, third Carnatic War we are going to discuss. That was started in 1756 and 63. So here basically this war held between County Lally and another one, Sir Irkut. County Lally and Sir Irkut, these are two commanders. Irkut was English commander, Count de Lally was a French commander. So Count de Lally, he captured Vandivash in 1760, and Sir Eyrecourt of English defeated the French, and Bussy, he was jailed, and Sir Eyrecourt attacked Pondicherry and captured it. So totally, in Third Carnatic War, French lost all the places in India. That is the major thing. And this war ended with the Treaty of Paris. Third Carnatic War, Treaty of Paris in 1763. Because of the end of Third Carnatic War, Pondicherry returned back to French and they lost importance in India, and it was led to British consolidation power in India. So totally French lost their all the power except Pondicherry in Carnatic War, particularly Third Carnatic War. So next we are going to discuss about Battle of Plassey in 1757. 1757 is one of the very important year in the history of India, that is the Battle of Plassey. This war basically held between Siraj-ud-Dowla and English. English commander was Robert Clive, and the opponent is Siraj-ud-Dowla, the Nawab of Bengal then in 1757. So basically we have to concentrate on what are the reasons for the Battle of Plassey. So one is misuse of dastaks, and another one mending of fort without permission of Nawab. So what are dastaks? Dastaks are nothing but license to make trade, just like free trade passes. So what Nawab had, Mughal kings had given dastaks to make free trade in northern part of India. So those dastaks were misused by the British East India Company. It was led to the loss of treasury of Bengal. So dastaks misused, so that it was led to loss of treasury of Bengal. And one more thing, without the permission of the Nawab, English repaired all the forts, particularly Kolkata fort, and placed cannons. Cannons in the sense arms and ammunition kept there and repaired, and they started to build different forts around Bengal. That is the major thing. So one is misuse of dastaks, and second one mending of fort without permission of the Nawab. And another one thing is Black Room tragedy. Black Room tragedy is happened in the same war. So Nawab of Bengal imprisoned 146 Englishmen in a small room of Fort William. Out of 146, 123 soldiers died due to suffocation. Due to suffocation, 123 died. That particular incident enraged the Robert Clive to rush to Bengal. So remember, third important reason is Black Room tragedy, what happened in Bengal by imprisoning 146 soldiers in a small room. So outcomes in the sense, what are the results of Battle of Plassey in 1757? So one is, this war brought out immorality as well as lack of unity among the Indians, and this was the greed of business. It shows that lack of unity among the Indians and immorality, and it shows that the very greedy on business. And one more thing, Mir Jafar became the new Nawab in place of Siraj-ud-Dowla. Siraj-ud-Dowla was surrendered and he was later killed after the end of Battle of Plassey. And another one thing, company gained exclusive rights on Bengal. That is the major thing. And another one thing, Mir Jafar had to pay 17 crore 70 lakh as relief to Siraj attack. And another one, Mir Jafar became victim of the company and treasury went bankrupt. These are the important results of the 1757 Battle of Plassey. And the last one I going to focus on, that is Battle of Buxar. Battle of Buxar, keep in mind, 1764. So Battle of Buxar, between whom? Let's concentrate. So Mir Qasim, Shah Alam II, Nawab of Oudh, then that was against Hector Munro, keep in mind. So Hector Munro, he was the commander of British. Mir Qasim was there. Mir Qasim along with Shah Alam and Nawab of Oudh, one alliance that was against Hector Munro. So here Mir Qasim, he actually came out of the control of the East India Company. So Mir Qasim was an able administrator. He was loyal to the company, and he had given more free rights to make trade in Bengal. But Indians competed a lot against British trade then. So Indians competed a lot, so that British trade was suffered, so that this alliance was made. So the last thing is results. Let's complete. So outcomes, because of the end of Bengal, what is that Battle of Buxar, what are the results? Here Shah Alam II accorded Diwani rights over the Bengal. That is the very important thing. Diwani rights means right to collect the taxes. So second one is he gave away all the rights over the Bengal and for an annual fee 26 lakh rupees. Another one thing, Nawab of Oudh had to give fine of 50 lakh rupees for waging the war. Third result, company paid pension to the Jafar's son and took over entire administration of Bengal. Totally Bengal came under the control of East India Company. And British became the real holders of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. These are the three important provinces in the kingdom of Bengal, Bihar and Bengal and Orissa. And very new thing what Robert Clive brought, that is dual government concept. Dual government is nothing but the British had the right to collect taxes, whereas Nawab had power over the administration issues like justice and other. Only company had rights to collect the taxes, but administration was in the hand of Nawab, particularly issues like justice and some other works. And the last thing is British gained political control over the India. So these are very important outcomes after the end of Battle of Buxar. So thank you for listening. Thank you for joining with us. Thank you.